the desert of the real.
Welcome to the Desert of the Real. I am your host, Ryan Hudson, and joined with me, as always, is the Master Control Program,
Jason Diggs.
The Desert of the Real is a movie podcast where I force Jason to watch big blockbuster movies he's refused to watch because he did not think they were worth his time. We're here to see if there's anything deep to say. We are currently starting and going to watch the Tron trilogy. Mostly because it's a weird trilogy. The first
Weird
one,
in what way?
The first one came out in 1982. The second one came out in 2010, and the third one came out 15 years later in 2025. This is every single movie is a separate thing, but they're all in the Tron world. We are two high school English language arts teachers, and we attempt to use our academic training to dig deeply into movies. We explore the creativity, philosophy, and film studies in our films, and push you, the audience, to think critically about your entertainment. Thank you for being here. If you haven't, please like, share, and subscribe to this podcast. It helps a lot, and it just means a lot that you decide to take your time to listen to us.
It does indeed.
We love you.
We do. Thank you for being here with us today. This series is interesting in another way because this is the first series where one of, the first entry is a part of my childhood.
Yeah.
The second entry, I guess you're not that young, but...
I saw the second one in theaters and I was in high school.
Yeah. Part of your childhood, and then I've never even heard of the third one, so...
And I've only seen it once. I was to my wife, I was like, can I just go see that one? She's like, yeah, just go. And I went by myself.
Yeah.
Kids were in bed, and I saw Tron Ares is what it's called. And so when we rewatch it for this, I'm like, okay, now I can kind of maybe think about it maybe more. But
so for me, my experience with this film, my parents bought a VCR.
Oh, nice.
That stands for video cassette recorder for most of our audience, and it plays these, book-sized tapes. Books are those things with paper that you turn the pages and they smell nice.
Yeah.
Anyhow, they bought this recorder VCR for $500.
Yeah, nuts expensive.
Yeah, and it came with this year's subscription to a video rental store. That is where we used to have to drive all the way over to the store, look through physical copies of all of the movies, and select one or more of those movies. My parents, looked at all of the options, realized that basically all we could watch was Disney. And so for a year, every week, I think we got 2 movie rentals, and they were all Disney. And so I've seen all of the Disney movies, the animations and the old, live action stuff, all the way through. And so it was great. We had this family thing with the popcorn and do you remember when we used to watch movies together?
Okay, but you're being facetious. But you're not.
I'm being 80% facetious.
Because there is truth and science.
I know.
About the fact how when you used to go to the place, you used to see the things and touch them, all the VHSs and DVDs and whatever, and choose one. I get the pizza on Friday.
Yeah. Little Caesars, where they used to have that huge tray. You probably don't even remember it. They used to have a 2 pizza wide
that was before my
cardboard tray that was wrapped in this paper bag, and you'd carry the 2, and it used to be pizza for a reason, because you couldn't just buy one Little Caesars pizza.
I know, I learned something today.
And so we'd get the pizza, and my dad loves root beer, and he'd have his root beer, and we'd have the popcorn, and we sat together as a family and enjoyed these. This is probably one of the reasons why I hate Disney so much now.
Because you watch too much of it?
No, because I have such good memories of when Disney was good. and they were a good company, and they were making movies that were good and wholesome and good. Anyhow, we're doing Tron.
We are branching things, but hold on.
Okay.
And this is a little hint at a future series. We might deem it season 3 officially, because it'll be a big one, kind of. But we'll look at some Disney movies.
Oh, really?
That branch a couple decades.
As long as they're before 1989.
Nope, none of them. But
oh, I protest.
but what I was gonna say is your relationship with movies and how you enjoy them even is all part. It's like a ritual, or used to be, obviously.
Yes.
And Dietz likes to underplay how old I am, but that was what my childhood too. Was like, let's go get a movie. And all this, it was a big deal. And so much of movies right now coming straight to streaming or watching on streaming, you literally forget them. Like, it's harder for your brain to remember details and things because you just, I don't know, let's watch this, pull it up on Netflix and whatever. And it's the
don't
whole
think anymore and physically interact.
Yeah, the critical thinking is one thing that is part of it, but the whole ceremony and let's make this a night type of thing. With our kids, we try to make movie nights still kind of happen. Let's get popcorn. Let's get a snack.
Nice.
Let's watch a movie. But
now everyone can just watch their own movie in their own rooms by themselves.
Yeah.
With their own popcorn.
We're not at that yet because we don't have TVs. Actually, we weren't allowed to have TVs in our rooms growing up.
We weren't either. My kids don't. We just have one in the front room.
Yeah.
And one in my bedroom because I'm an adult and I can have a TV in my room if I want. So, yeah, Disney, for me, started dying in 1996. Do you know what happened in 1996?
Let me guess, actually.
It's a movie.
I know. I'm trying to think of what movie it could be. I know it's... Actually, I might need your help. What is it?
The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
What?
I watched it. I'm like, where has my Disney gone?
Wow, wild.
We've got a stripper. We've got an openly lustful guy who's bringing
that's
up
his
this,
sin.
And I'm like,
every villain
what
has
happened
one core.
to Disney?
Every villain has one core thing that's wrong.
I go
that's
from
his.
Herbie Goes Bananas, where there's this cute little beetle that's alive running around, beep beep, whatever, and now I've got a stripper and the priest that's lusting after her. No, give me pre-96 Disney.
We don't have time to get into this argument, but I disagree with that.
Well,
I think Hunchback is still where Disney is still trying to make, or still making things that are worth your time. Maybe we'll have to do it somehow.
I don't know. Anyhow. So, Tron.
That's nuts.
That's not nuts. How is that nuts?
I don't know.
From what I just told you, my entire, all of them, I saw everything. I'm pretty sure. We didn't see Song of the South because it wasn't available.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure I saw just about everything else that they made.
Okay.
And it was wholesome. It was good. There was never a moment that my parents were like, oh, crap, pause, shut it off, leave. Ever. Never.
Yeah.
And so that's my Disney. Hunchback is not my Disney. After Hunchback,
have you not seen it since '96? By the way,
Hunchback.
Yeah.
No, I think I've only ever seen it once. I will say, however, that there are movies after The Hunchback of Notre Dame that Disney made that I love, but that's when I have to start being like, what
are we doing?
I gotta watch. Make sure.
All right, but we're going all the way back to the '80s, Dietz.
Yeah. That's when, as you pointed out pre-recording, this is when Disney is kind of throwing crap at the wall and trying to see what sticks and what doesn't stick.
Yeah, surprisingly...
They're not the juggernaut that they are today, or the monopolist, as some might say.
This is pre-monopoly. Disney. Okay, you know what? I have notes. I came with some notes. Do you know what year Disney died? Walt Disney?
60... Well, you're saying he died. I don't believe he's dead.
Well, he's frozen, as we all know.
Cryogenic.
Yeah, as we all know.
Cryogenically frozen. is cryogenically frozen, probably 67, something like that.
Yeah, you're one off. 66.
Dang it.
And so literally they had no idea how to run the company without him for a while. Like, basically, they were like, we need a figurehead. There is no other way to run a company like Disney without a figurehead. So, the 70s... Okay.
There's some good stuff in the 70s.
Right. That and like the okay, so his death left Disney without a creative leader who had personally guided them almost in every decision. He started with shorts, like animated shorts, and he would literally like approve everything.
Yeah.
If he didn't think it was good, it didn't happen. And then when movies came around, he kind of shifted gears. He's like, all right, other people can do the shorts. Now I'm doing the movies. And it's the same type of thing. And then eventually Disneyland came around. He's like, you know what? This is going to be my thing. And he let other people finally start to make decisions and stuff. That's kind of what Disney did. And Disney's a complicated person, but he made Disney.
Yeah.
But after his death, the company became extremely cautious. Instead of taking creative risks, this is probably the 70s, Disney focused on safe family entertainment. And it lists as its movies post-Disney, The Love Bug, The Aristocrats, Robin Hood, and Escape to Witch Mountain.
Mwah. They also made The Black Hole, which I had nightmares about, like when they shot the face off and there's just this skeleton thing. Yeah, that was not... that was a little experimental for a little kid audience. I was like 6 or 7.
Oh my gosh, Jason just did the 6-7 thing.
I do it all the time. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to it, if I'm being honest. Anyway, so basically nothing was quote unquote groundbreaking in this decade, essentially. But you know what, a little thing that changed all of movies and all of the industry? What's a little movie that came out in 77 that beloved by all and for better or worse is still going on? It's Star Wars.
Oh, okay.
Star Wars. Suddenly, Disney realized...
Dang it, I thought it came out my year I was born. Now I have to have something else cool.
So with Star Wars, Disney's like, we got to shift gears. We got to get teenagers in. We got to get some monetization going on. Look what George Lucas is doing over there. We got to be innovative, and we got to compete with Fox or the ideas of Star Wars. So that's where we got Black Hole. 1979 is a direct response to Star Wars. And I have not seen it, but it has a footnote in history because its opening credits have technically CGI.
Yeah.
And it's one of those first examples of this is what CGI is, and it's just the credits. Oh, that's still cool.
It was
but it was like a stepping stone. But here with Black Hole trying to capitalize on we got to expand. They're trying to do darker themes. Yeah, they're trying to be more realistic with science, I guess.
So this is gonna be my episode where you reminisce a lot. I don't reminisce at all.
Yeah.
Really, this is gonna be mine. So I think. So you're talking about darker Disney. When we're talking about darker Disney, we're talking about a movie called The Watcher in the Woods.
I want to see it. Unless I should probably just find it on the internet illegally or whatever.
And we're also talking about a movie called Something Wicked This Way Comes.
Which is on Disney Plus.
Which is, both of those are magnificent. And if I think back, I'm pretty sure those two movies are the reason why horror is my favorite genre. Because they're, in my early childhood, there's nothing more powerful in my memory than the experience of those two movies. So we're talking about when are they coming out?
So Black Hole 79, Watcher in the Woods is 80, and then there's a couple other movies, but...
Right, so I'm 6, legitimately, not just, jokily, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah.
And I'm watching these movies, as they're coming out. Yeah, I have vivid memories of the moment where the mirror cracks in you don't know
which one
in Watcher in the Woods, and it is imprinted on my soul. I can still feel the edge of my seat, straight up terror that I had, but I didn't want to stop. I didn't want to look away because I wanted to know what was coming. I was sucked in, and that's the moment I think that I fell in love with horror.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So when we're talking about 70s, early 80s Disney, yeah, it's experimental, but for me, that's what Disney is.
Well, what's interesting though, it's kind of, if you even expand it to more Hollywood, the Hays Code ended about the time Disney died. So in the 70s, it's like, well, let's finally do stuff we haven't seen before. So there's a big pile up of like horror and even like gore and just things that were literally against the law in the Hays Code era. Yeah. But the 80s is when it's like, all right, maybe let's readjust. We kind of went really hard. Now let's maybe try to make more money or something or whatever. But the 80s, to Disney's credit, was like, we need something. We're struggling here. This is the dark era. We don't know how to do this without Walt still.
70s and 80s?
Yeah, 70s
That's
and
so
80s.
weird to me.
Like, I read the Jim Henson biography. They literally thought they needed a figurehead, and it was going to be Jim Henson. And he wanted to do it, but he didn't believe in going to doctors when he got pneumonia and stuff. But and eventually they just kind of realized, wait, we just need a CEO. We just need a normal...
If I'm looking through this, sorry. Okay, this is my reminisce episode. I'm looking through this list, and some of my favorite Disney movies are released in the 70s. Like, have you seen Bedknobs and Broomsticks?
That's not a good movie, D.
That is a fantastic movie.
Mary Poppins wannabe.
I love that movie.
It's not good.
You are wrong. Freaky Friday. Pete's Dragon, for crying out loud.
That one's good.
Oh my goodness.
And hot take, the remake is maybe the best about the...
That is...
No, you should check it out. Robert Redford's in it. Oh.
No. No, so you cannot you can't remake for me, you cannot remake these movies.
Jim Dale is the bad guy in that movie.
I don't even know who Jim Dale is.
Oh.
Yeah, these are part of my childhood. Oh, that was the third one, the Black Cauldron. That is not like a happy doodly with little talking animals movie. That's a straight up horror movie.
Yeah.
I remember that movie too.
The 70s animated movies are kind of like Aristocrats and Robin Hood. They're beloved, but a lot cheaper than like previous ones. And the quality, I guess you can argue, but that's the one that kind of almost stopped the animation department.
The Black Cauldron, I believe it.
It did not make money. It didn't.
It was friggin' scary as heck.
Exactly.
Anyhow, and then I kind of stopped watching Disney movies, not because of protest, just like right around Honey, I Shrunk the Kids and The Rocketeer.
I like Rocketeer.
I like them. I like them, but I started wanting, a little bigger boy stuff. Although Cool Runnings, feel the rhythm,
feel the rhyme.
So there you go. That's a lot of childhood for me.
I didn't know you watched all of it.
Like, I don't have a list. I guess I could find a list.
In the late 90s, early 2000s, Disney's like, come on, let's do this home media thing. And we bought a lot of VHS.
Re-released them,
yeah. They had the whole vault system. You know what I mean? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Buy these now, or else you won't be able to buy them for a while, or ever again is what... Anyway,
Song of the South. I have seen it after.
You have?
I found a bootleg copy of it and watched it.
Yeah.
It is not not racist movie.
Right. And people don't realize it was controversial when it came out. It wasn't like
movie.
Prior to the time. No, there were issues immediately type of thing. That's some people don't remember that or don't. Anyway, so going back to where Tron comes in. It was computers. The late 70s saw computers move from giant corporation machines to public awareness with Apple and Atari and just the arcade culture.
Atari, baby.
Anyway, the director of Tron, Steven Leisberger, he owned a small Boston animated studio, and he noticed something unusual. Kids admired video game programmers the way other older people liked rock stars. They were like, kids were already into like, check out the graphics, look what these people are doing. Like, anyway, so he wondered, what if the program inside a computer were alive? This is one of the the key idea of Tron. What if you went into a video game? And so he imagined that this is crazy in the 80s. His initial idea is, what if there was a digital version of you that existed in the computer? And it's now we are all in the computers, you know. There is a reality to that. But that was like his core initial idea, like there's a digital version of you that exists in there. And then he built on that, like what if the people who use the computers were like the gods of that version, and computers had like their whole city and civilizations in there and stuff. So the first version was not Disney. They originally wanted to be like traditionally animated, or they were trying with some backlit photography ideas, practical effects. But then Lieberger, the director, discovered something revolutionary: computer graphics. Deets.
Booyah.
So CGI
Tron started it all.
Yeah. Well, technically, do you know what the first movie that ever had a CGI shot in it?
No.
Westworld from '73.
Oh, I did know that.
There is, it's you wouldn't really be impressed necessarily today, but it's technically made with a computer.
I like Westworld.
And its sequel, Future World, had one.
Oh, like the heat.
His like point of view,
heat point of view.
And it's only for a couple seconds. And if you think about even Star Wars in '77, and we said this, but the only CGI in the original movie was when they looked at the Death Star plans. That was made with a computer. So that's like kind of the evolution.
So this is the first like big, here's computers.
Yeah. Studios kept on rejecting this movie because they didn't think the CGI idea would work. It's barely existed. It's not gonna work type of thing. It was too expensive. Audiences just don't understand computers, that type of thing.
Right.
And there was just no proof that you could do something like this. Not really. So companies that passed on it were MGM, Warner Bros., Columbia, and Universal.
Wow.
But remember, Disney's, they're pretty desperate at this time.
Looking for something.
And they were building Epcot, the last thing Disney really wanted to happen, and it becomes a park. So Future World, Future Celebration was kind of part of Disney's push anyway. So executives wanted Disney to be associated with the future, basically. So that was kind of their argument. And it was it was a risk. I mean,
sure.
It did not pan out, and it eventually became a cult classic. So they were kind of right to be worried. But now we just know where the industry goes with CGI. It becomes standard, basically.
Right.
Almost every movie uses some digital, either enhancing or shots or effects or something. So they financed the movie for about $17 million, making it one of the studio's biggest investments to that point. They invested a couple different companies. I mean, this is the big complaint with modern Marvel, where it's like sending out all these shots.
Right.
But technically, this movie did it too. It's like companies listed Magi, Triple I, Robert Ebel, Digital. It's just like, hey, you handled these things. So it was doing it in the first big CGI film, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Because it would then go back, let's do it in-house. And now it's like, I got too much. Let's do it out of house. So It's kind of weird, just historically that way. And there's also less CGI than you think, technically. There's only about 15 to 20 minutes in the movie that is using CGI. But you're like, yeah, but what about all the shots? Well, Deets, I'm glad you asked, because all of the way that they look and most of the sets and costumes isn't the CGI parts.
Yeah.
So I hear all our audience wondering, but how did they do that? I am intimately familiar with Tron from the 80s, and I know it doesn't look normal. Well, you're right. Let me tell you what's going on. They filmed people in black and white costumes on a black and white background. And they used a Kodak film called Kodith, which is hyper contrasted the blacks and the whites. So when you inverted the image, the black parts became white, and then you could use a backlight to light through the colored cells. So all the blues and reds, and this includes the sets and stuff for a lot of it, not the CGI stuff, is when they would eventually go and refilm the inverted black and white hyper shots. They would put like different colored things behind it to make the light go through.
That's super cool.
And they did this frame by frame, basically. But that's not all the things that they're doing. They had to go through, and once again, frame by frame, hand by hand, they made... they did the eyes and the mouths. If you go and look, the eyes are wider than the rest, and the mouth, it's because every single shot that has a person in it, that has a face, they cut out the eyes and cut out the teeth for another different layer to be put on to be a different whiteness.
Wow.
It's
a labor of love.
The labor of love is super innovative, and that's the thing I love about this. I did appreciate this movie a lot more this time. Like Tron, I've always liked I liked the idea of Tron. Like, yeah, it's got the CGI stuff, but the rest, it's not. I'm not dying to rewatch Tron type of thing. I did appreciate it the most this rewatch.
That's good. I thought I was gonna have to battle with you.
No. But there are some problems with the movie.
For sure.
But like the other things to keep in mind with like the technology. Now we have... Listener, here's something that haunts my dreams about this podcast. When we were doing Avatar 2, The Way of Water, a good movie, I was like trying to be like, but these shots with the water, what is real, what's not real, how do they do it? Jason over here is like, with a computer. That is just so vastly underplaying the complexity of that movie. Like how and what they were doing. So you're talking
about the remake of Avatar?
And I want to go all the way back to this movie, kind of the beginning of CGI. I was watching a video about it. It's like, just imagine a spreadsheet, and you're like, this shape do this shape do that. You could not see it. He's like, all right, and now make, and then I don't know how long it takes to render, and we kind of we don't appreciate necessarily how much power it takes to render some things, especially with a CGI as we continue. But you'd be like, hope that worked. And then you'd come back when it was rendered and be like, okay, the shapes moved like they were supposed to, or they didn't. And you think about all the shapes and all these, like, it was rudimentary, basically.
Right.
So it's just...
But cutting edge.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Yeah. I remember growing up... obviously Star Wars has always been a part of my life, but then this, I didn't really have growing up, but Flight of the Navigator I would see eventually. Yeah. Why does this look so bad compared to Star Wars? Because Star Wars used sets or miniatures and real explosions. This is CGI, and it's just, we needed this to get better at the process and stuff.
Yeah.
Actually, the first time do you know what Kingdom Hearts is?
The game where you play Disney characters or something. That's all I know.
It's a game. It's like Final Fantasy and Disney had a baby, and it's Kingdom Hearts. You have to go find Mickey in the first one. You fight with Donald and Goofy, and you go to Disney movies and fight their bad guys and stuff. And it's awesome. It gets stupid complicated story-wise, though. But we're not here to do that. There are podcasts about that. In Kingdom Hearts 2... you go to Tron, and that's the first time I ever really knew about Tron.
Oh, wow.
And I remember we played, it was such a big deal in our, especially with my brother and sister, we were all in on Kingdom Hearts. And we would watch each other play and stuff, because we only had one PlayStation. We played through the Tron, and we got to watch this. We got it from the library. And we're like, oh, this is kind of boring.
That's so bizarre to me.
But I just yesterday, I was watching it, I'm like, man, in Kingdom Hearts, you got to fight that guy.
Sark?
Yeah, you have to... Sark is trying to stomp on you.
Yeah. And
then you have to, clear out the way to attack the MCP and stuff. I'm like, this is just like in Kingdom Hearts. Anyway, so that was how I was basically personally introduced to Tron, was
through a video game.
Kingdom Hearts.
That's actually fitting, I think.
Yeah. Anyway, as far as the history is concerned, roughly 300,000 animation cells were produced.
Wow.
So artists for 300,000 individual cells had to make sure the glowy lights were there, or highlights, or costume lines, helmet lights, environmental effects by hand. Frame by frame.
That is dedication.
Guess what? Jeff Bridges was not the first choice. Do you want to know who was? Or was
Michael Jackson?
No, Robin Williams. He was one of the people they kind of wanted. Apparently other people, I don't know these names. So Ryan Reynolds is the only interesting guy. And Disney, it says, did not know how to market this movie. Is it a science fiction movie, family film? Is it a video game movie? Is it a philosophical fantasy?
Yes.
So
all of that.
Many audiences apparently didn't know what the movie was or supposed to be when it was out. And here's the kind of the last thing. It was not eligible for the Oscar for special effects because the Oscars did not think using a computer was fair.
Oh.
Yeah, that's where we were. It's like, yeah, it's not even eligible.
Really
they use a computer. However, there were some other big movies that came out in '82. And you were alive, so you might remember this. But other movies, especially other science fiction movies that came out the same year, include E.T., Blade Runner, The Thing, Wrath of Khan, and technically Dark Crystal.
Still the best Star Trek movie, am I right? You've never seen it.
It's the only one from the original cast I've seen.
So
I like, let's watch the one that's
good.
supposed to be good.
Oh, man.
But kind of a big year for movies. You even have Rambo: First Blood, Conan the Barbarian, I suppose. Pink Floyd: The Wall came out that year. 82 is a big movie year. It basically made about $50 million in the box office on a $17 million budget, so it wasn't the big blockbuster they were hoping for, but it wasn't like nothing essentially. But it has had a long-lasting legacy. A lot of people who'd become the directors in the later 80s into 90s were influenced with the main example is kind of The Matrix. The Matrix is largely influential for the Wachowskis. But the Tron is interesting that way. That's kind of why I wanted to do this, because each movie is distinctly different from one another.
Yeah, so I watched, like, as I was watching this, like, okay, there's obviously no denying this is a dated movie. Like, you can't be like, oh, look at the special effects. Well, no, you cannot do that. You can't come to this movie expecting that. Like, it's just, it was born where it is. Mm-hmm. And you have to embrace this movie as, in my opinion, now, as an adult, as this philosophical, like, playground. Like, they're like, what if, like you said, what if we had a digital self? What if there was actually, like, stuff going on in these computers, like societies in there, whatever. That's where we're at with this movie. This is not, currently, or nor probably ever again, a cutting edge film. So the things that I love about this movie are those things. But
I should say, and like, I don't hate this movie, but something I can't help but also be appreciative is, it's rudimentary is maybe the best way to explain it, but they are so creative with what they're doing.
Yes.
Like the shapes of the ships and the things that are CGI, rough by in quotes, but not limited. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Like, my favorite part of just that stuff is when Flynn crashes his, whatever those things are, the tank.
Yeah, I don't know what they're
flying
called.
Tank things. And as he's crashing it, like, he's running into layer after layer, and it just takes a little bit, a little bit, a little bit, a little bit. So creative. That's awesome.
And then he crashes and is like, oops.
Yeah,
kind of just tumbles off the set.
Yeah.
Did you ever see the movie Sky Captain: The World of Tomorrow?
No.
Do you know what it is?
I do.
It's I thought of it because at a certain point they're like, we could make a movie with like no sets, basically.
Right.
All we need is a green screen and some actors, and it'll be a lot cheaper. And it was basically that similar to Tron, I suppose, in a way. It's like, let's make a big world with the minimum of resources. Actually, it's kind of more like Hundreds of Beavers.
Yeah.
But It was a failed experiment, but they thought that was what we could do with CGI in movies. Just need green screen and we'll make it all fine. It's not a very good movie. I remember it kind of being boring, but those ships in Tron are called recognizers.
Oh, yeah, he crashes his recognizer. Okay, the other thing that I want, so this is now 40 plus years old. And the things that they are worried about in terms of computers and in terms of AI and in terms, like, how prescient is this movie? It's so amazing that they're like, they've nailed all of the like, one of the quotes I wrote, Alan is talking to some old guy that's working with the laser, and he's like, computers are just machines, they can't think. And then the Tron guy says some programs will be thinking soon. That's crazy talk in the 80s. I remember computers in the 80s. I had one. All you could do was type on it. Yeah. And they had little games where you had a little guy that looked like a stick that you could run around with. How are computers going to be thinking in the 80s? Crazy.
But what's funny is because we watched Surrogates, a forgotten movie, but about technology. You wanted a bridge into this.
And also, it's a good movie.
It's better. It deserves better. It is. It's good. I like it. I'm not saying it's a secret masterpiece, though.
No.
But I couldn't help but think, especially with the Master Control program, where there were some distinct thematic similarities of technology. Yeah. In this case, essentially AI.
Right.
Like getting, like, spreading its wings and stuff, and like it's like, I think I'll hack the Kremlin just because. Right. You know.
Some of the things that the MCP says are crazy, but they're like, yeah, that could happen.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but one of my cons is a lack of exposition in this movie.
Really?
Not that it needed to slow down anymore, but
I don't think it's that slow.
Sorry, there's just a part where
really don't.
I stopped it and like, what? There's 30 minutes left. How is there 30 minutes?
Well, that's
left?
how I felt about almost every other movie you've had me watch. So.
All right, Deets.
Good. Now you know how I feel.
Whatever fallacy that is.
That's not a fallacy.
Anyway, I understand this movie, but I would imagine a lot of people in the 80s would have kind of been more confused because of a lack of just basic computer knowledge type of thing.
Probably.
But like the fact that Flynn sits down and Clue, who's in the next movie too, looks just like him. And so I think we need a little bit of like something right there, be like, like, I don't know, explaining like this is how the program systems work. We make a program and the guy that looks just like me is doing this thing.
Program.
But the MCP, I don't know
how. I think we got that because we got Tron looks like.
Maybe. I mean, I also kind of felt like the MCP's whole deal, like, oh, I'm controlling all of this, and I don't know. I kind of felt like it wasn't super clear necessarily.
No. I disagree.
All right, well,
but that's okay. And then we're going to revisit this when we go to Tron Legacy, because this is one of the issues I think Tron Legacy has. Like the Tron, this movie is bounded. Like the extent of the MCP's reach is the computer system housed in wherever it is that Flynn works. That's it. And so this movie makes sense. Like the MCP is controlling that system.
Right. Yeah.
Right? And so I think that it works like at a philosophical level, at a logical level. I'm going to say this movie works better than Tron Legacy. Which we're not talking about Tron Legacy yet. I'm just saying. But I'm defending Tron.
I will say this, and once again, I don't hate this movie. I think this one is philosophically deeper than Legacy.
Yes.
But I'll also, and we'll get to it next week, Disney's also in a radically different place.
And I will admit, Tron Legacy looks magnificent. It sounds magnificent. But we'll get to that next week. I also love Bit.
And that's another thing.
So cool.
I listened to a podcast, the Soundtrack Show, which by the way is amazing. Go listen to the Soundtrack Show if you want like a podcast that he just goes in, explains movies and like the music behind it. But he's like, gigabytes are 1,000 megabytes, a megabyte, blah, blah, blah. A bit is just one of those. And that's...
all he can say is yes and no.
Yeah, ones and zeros, you know?
But it's, if you just focus on that little character, it's amazing how much that little thing can communicate.
Yeah. With
just those two words and like how fast or how slow it says it, loud and soft. It's so cool to see just how much you can do with... all of the communication tools that surround the words.
Yeah. Is that all you? Wait, what did you say?
Is that all you can say?
No.
Yes.
Anyway, it's
yes.
It's.
I love Bit.
Yeah, I do too. I wish. Here's the nostalgia thing. It should have been in Legacy, but it's not. You know.
Yeah, they brought everything else in.
It is there as an Easter egg, but it's not. Okay. Just a couple pros and cons, because I kind of want to talk about some of the deeper things here.
Okay.
This is a film nerd thing, and the version that's on Disney Plus is beautifully remastered. But the film, like the film that it was shot on, especially in the real world scenes, is beautiful. Like it's things a lot of people don't care about, but like it's not shot digitally. It's filmed with a film camera. I was like, look at this world of the 80s. Look how much detail is in it. Look how much color is in every single frame. And it's just different in the computer, but that's not a bad thing. But I'm like, look how it looks. Look how good the 80s look right here. And like, I felt like, I get why Christopher Nolan insists on film. You know, it's like... it's a little thing that most people won't care about. I'm like, but look how good this looks.
It does.
Anyway,
as a child of the 80s, I have to agree. Those are good times.
A little tiny thing, that red helicopter in real life is so cool looking.
Oh yeah,
kind of sets
underlit.
Up, yeah. Kind of sets up Red as the bad guys and stuff, but like that's cool.
Yeah.
There's one random shot in the office before they go on the computer, and it's like, wow, this office is huge, but it's just a matte painting. That's kind of
like the cubicles.
Yeah, it just goes on and on and on. It's a fun matte painting, and I love that the second one does this too. It doesn't cut to the real world, and I think that's to this movie's credit.
Yep.
I think that was a smart choice, and could have easily been something I would have thought about. Like, oh, we're cutting back to where's Alan at his desk? Never. And
no, we don't care.
It's better for that.
Yeah, I agree.
There's a random thing that I thought that's a cool thing that we don't ever see again in the other two. They're on the light beam thing, and Flynn's just like, let me use my body.
Right.
And like, how did you do that? Like, you can use your body. The light.
You don't need it explained. Just embrace it.
Anyway, that's cool. That's a fun idea. The creativity for the limited things.
So actually, I don't have any major cons. I don't agree that this is a slow film. I mean, it's slow in the sense that it's paced for the 80s. Like, if you look at other 80s films, the pacing is... like, they were slower. We didn't need the scene changes and perspective changes, but...
I guess part of it is it's impossible to not compare to Star Wars, even like Empire and especially Return of the Jedi, but like there's just like moments where it's like Tron fighting bad guys. I'm like, oh, I wish this was cooler, I guess. Like, there's one bad guy that just like jumps off himself, which is funny, but I'm like, was that even warranted? And like they're throwing their lights between Sark and I'm like, oh, I wish this.
Oh, come on.
But overall, it's a good movie.
All right. You're expecting it. You're expecting it to be like a 2020 level movie. It's not.
I know.
You picked it as a friggin' 80s movie. It's old.
All right, you know what?
This is the decade that created Halloween.
You're right.
Which is not even remotely scary now, but at the time it was terrifying.
Scary.
It is not. There's nothing scary in Halloween. Frickin' Mike Myers is a moron, and he's
never driven before.
Hey,
but he's driven.
He's never gotten stabbed with it anyhow.
All right, okay.
I'm just saying you gotta meet the movie where it's at. That's all
right.
I'm saying. You gotta be fair. Let's move on.
Because I think there's some great ideas here.
There are.
Like, there's at one point a character says, you just keep doing what you're supposed to be doing. And guess who abuses that is the MCP.
Yeah.
He understands. He's the only one that's aware of programs just want to do their thing.
Right.
And I'm going to abuse that. I'm the only one that can abuse that, except for Tron. Because it's... Yeah, everyone else is a program. When Flynn crashes the big thing, no one really cares. And Flynn has a fun line where it's like, oh, nah, because they're programs. They're not programmed to care, so they don't care type of thing. On a very basic but very real world and ideas we've mentioned on this podcast, you can't allow yourself to be programmed.
Yes.
And it's a literal metaphor here, but it's just so relevant today. Like, the director, the idea that this movie is based on is like, what if a digital version of you? But now there is, and it can be programmed, and it can impact you.
Yes.
So that's what this movie is about.
Right. That's what I was saying earlier. That's so prescient. This movie saw us now.
Yeah.
Like, we all have a digital self, whether we like it or not. We have like all of this happening now. In the 80s, this was not even on the radar, not even thought about. But this movie thought about it. That's why I think this movie's amazing.
I agree, Deets.
Anyhow,
but the one of the main ideas I love is it leans into the religious themes and tones,
a little bit.
Which is, I guess, the music's got some synthy stuff going on. And according to the podcast I listened to, something like Star Wars would have had like multiple weeks to record the music. Disney only gave them 2 days with an orchestra. So the musician, I forget her name, she would go back and either fix things or cover things up with a synth because she couldn't get an orchestra back type of thing. So the synth was used to kind of, patch some of that. But there's also they use some organ sounds, I feel like, and I think that kind of helps lean into the religious undertones. But like the thing that I like with the religious themes, it's kind of like every program has essentially their user, like their God, essentially, and the creator, and the MCP's like, I am the only one that matters type of thing. Right. Like, let's see if your user could even help you. Like, it's trying to attack that idea.
Right.
And I think that's kind of cool in this science fiction movie, where it has computers and like. But like it's it leads into this kind of existential themes as well. Like, if I'm a program, what does that mean about me type of thing?
Right.
Or who created me? It's the user. But like Flynn, he is a user. He goes into the computer. Is he pretending not to remember, or is he just playing along with the programs?
No, he remembers.
Okay, there was a part where I was like,
he's just keeping it secret, I think, because he doesn't know what. If he revealed it, what that impact would have. Like, is everyone going to descend on him or whatever? And I think that's what...
You're going to not like this sentence, but I think some of those ideas, they make kind of interesting in the next movie, decades from now, of Flynn and being a user who knows he's making a program with people in it and stuff.
I don't disagree with that sentence.
But, like, the idea that Tron... who once again is aware he's a program, but chooses justice, essentially. Chooses to do good when he's programmed to obey the MCP, or the MCP's trying to get him to comply. Yeah. Anyway, I just think that it's cool on a theology lens.
Theologically cool.
Existential lens. I just thought it was I was surprised. I never picked up on that or appreciated.
Yeah, there's a lot of depth to it. We've got old laser worker guy. After computers are just machines, they can't think. He says, "Won't that be grand? Computers and the programs will start thinking, and the people will stop." And so I want to take it out of, oh yeah, we have cell phones, so we don't think anymore, or whatever. And I want to examine that as a concept. Like, do we only rise to the bare minimum of what is required of us physically, intellectually, emotionally, and we stop there, which like, oh, this computer can think for me, I'm not doing it kind of thing. So is that the baseline for most people, I guess, is the question. So do we think we only put forth as much effort as is necessary for the minimum result that we want as a species?
Kind of, I think.
Okay.
And if I'm following
That's a very Dietz-like answer.
if you're following your questioning,
It depends.
like, for example, let's say if we could have a computer program take care of some things that, let's say, like, let's get it off my plate. I don't have to worry about some things anymore because it can be programmed. That could be a good thing. Maybe not.
Yeah.
In fact, in class today, I have stolen a lot of your stuff, but I asked the question, if there was global harmony, would that actually take away people's creativity? But I'm reminded by your question, a friend of mine told me about an acquaintance who uses AI to kind of plan out things like meal plans and grocery lists. And at first I was like, wow, ridiculous. You can't even do the bare minimum. But sometimes I'm like, I don't even know what to make for dinner sometimes.
Right.
Like, is it a bad thing to have help there where it's like, computer, take some of those simple things away, maybe to, I don't know. That's why I mean, kind of.
I mean, I have used AI to create playlists.
Wow, Dietz.
I have. Like, I give it very specific parameters, or I've also used it to identify movies that have certain characteristics. So I guess I'm not saying that so much as, I guess, like, for example, we see this in our classrooms. We give an assignment, write this paper, these many words. What percentage of our students will be like, oh, I'm going to run with this and go above and beyond? It's not terribly high.
Yeah.
And there are admittedly a number of other reasons why that wouldn't be, because they have 5 other classes with other blah, blah, blah. Maybe they're not engaged in the assignment, whatever. But I think it's interesting that this character's response is the computers will start thinking and the people will stop. Because if I don't have to do it anymore, I can do something else.
Yeah, and that's... Even Ray Bradbury was playing with that decades earlier.
He plays,
let's have there's a house or whatever will take care of all
the nursery.
Yeah, like the
this
Veld.
is the Veld,
right? Yeah. But that house, you don't even have to walk up the stairs. You know, the house will like brush your teeth, fold your clothes, put the clothes on you and stuff.
Yeah.
So that was like the idea decades before this, and now it's like, and now in 2026, you're like. Yeah, people are using this to think.
Yeah.
I even remember, or not. We're not like against talking about our church, you know what I mean?
Right.
I saw a post online from an LDS bishop who said he's starting to hear the AI patterns in talks given over the pulpit.
Oh,
he's like,
wow.
that one's, he even knows the different programs. That one's Claude. That one's
that's crazy.
GPT. Like, it's
wow.
We teach English, so we're like fighting the fight against essays need to be written by you, you know. Right. But like everyday people are using it for tasks that we might be surprised that it's being used for, type of thing.
Yeah. So I thought that was one of the philosophically interesting things. and then we're going to get increasingly metaphysical from here.
Yeah.
So I think it's Flynn says our spirit remains in every piece of software we designed, which is a beautiful concept. But if we translate it out of, software in the world of Tron into the real world, if that's true, and our spirit, or part of our whatever, is in everything that we do, what are the implications of that? Like, what should we be doing? So specifically, if we do a half crap job that's tied to the other one, kind of. If it's true and we do the bare minimum, what does that say about our spirit, about us as creators, us as generators of ideas, or as emotional beings? If every single thing that we've made is just mid, which you hate, it's just the bare minimum. It's just, are we then just bare minimum people?
I think part of the problem is we gotta grind to make a living, to go on and keep going to the next thing type of thing. Because I'm thinking of, we used to have artisans, Now we just have, I don't know, what's it called, subcontractors or something. I'm sure we've talked about this example before, but we used to put crazy designs and details into doorknobs and lamp posts and paintings and billboards, and now paintings and billboards is not a good example, but now everything is just functional. It's not. But the problem is, but you got to get to the next job so you can, keep affording to do it. So you can't spend extra time to do little things.
But I get that.
Yeah.
But I'm going to disagree.
Okay.
Because that's what I do. I'm disagreeable. So my daughter is a CNA at a nursing home. Nice. Right? And CNAs do the crappy jobs, literally. I guess
I actually do know.
You're kind of in that.
I'm adjacent. You're
CNA adjacent.
Yeah.
So you could, as a CNA, just do the bare minimum, right? Easily. And not get fired and keep going. She does not. She goes, her birthday was Tuesday, and we're celebrating her birthday. She wanted to go here, wanted to go there. And then she took time out of her day to go buy cupcakes and take them to her, the people that she works with there. She's going above and beyond, right?
Yeah.
Not required. Mm-hmm. And so that next day, she gets a phone call from her boss, and he wants to promote her.
Yeah. Because
of who she is. And so in those cupcakes, in her shiny smiling interactions, she is doing what Flynn is talking about here. Her spirit remains in those moments that she has created. Yeah. Where I guess other CNAs who are not willing to go outside of the bare minimum, their spirit's also there. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't shine. It's not calling to people. It's not attracting more creativity or more happiness or more whatever. Yeah. It's just there. And so for me, one of the things I love about Tron is we see both sides of that. We see the programs that are just there, bare minimum, doing their function, not whatever. They're just there. Yeah. And then we've got Tron and the female character, and then the old guy in the little shell and whatever. These people could be just doing what they were programmed, the bare minimum, but they're not. And because they're not, we have the film. Mm-hmm. And because they're not, things in Tronlandia, I don't know what it is, in the computer, the grid is what it's called. Things in the grid change. And I think there's a direct correlation between that and the real world.
Yeah.
If we recognize that our spirit remains in the things that we create, and the things that we do, then we have the option of being, like, we're teachers, so being, the bare minimal teachers, and we get the paycheck, the kids get out of the class, and they move on or whatever. We could do that. Or, we can scale up from there. And we can leave a part of our spirit, metaphorically speaking, in the students, in the experience of the class as a whole. And that translates, I believe, to every profession, every social interaction.
Yeah.
Like, you could be, I guess technically parents are required to feed and, protect and clothe their kids.
You gotta keep them alive at the minimum.
Right. You could do that and be that parent, or, you could anyhow. So, Tron and the old guy and the female, I don't
know their names either.
I don't know, whatever. They don't really
They probably should have redesigned that old guy's hat, though.
They are the reasons this film exists. They are the reasons for the freedom in the grid. Just like in our lives, in our spheres, bingo, in our spheres of influence, we could just be the bare minimum guys.
Yeah.
We don't reflect light that way. We're just dull. We're just gray. Our spirit doesn't, radiate. Or we could recognize, okay, maybe, I'm not, I don't know, Elon Musk with billions of dollars and everyone on the planet knows my name and my technology is in every city in the world and whatever. Maybe we're not that, but we don't have to be. We need to be us, and we need to rise above the bare minimum. We need to rise above the basic so that we can free the people that love us, that we love. And that's the main thing that I get out of Tron, is that unwillingness to just be a program that just does whatever the program is supposed to do.
Yeah.
Because the ones that shine, the ones that are memorable, the ones that make changes, are the people that push it, the people that go above and beyond. So the call for me from Tron is recognize that our spirit remains in every piece of software we design, or in every piece of whatever it is that you do in your sphere. Your spirit remains. What do you want it to do?
Yeah.
Do you want it to just be a gray, lifeless lump, and that's what is part of your spirit everyone can see and interact with, or do you want to shine? And that's not that's not a one moment thing, like, oh, I'm gonna shine, bam, I did it, that's all. It's a daily, everyday choice. You're putting your spirit into everything, all the time. Be aware of that and put the best part of you into whatever it is that you do. There, I will shut up.
Well, it directly ties into the theological lens I was mentioning.
Yeah.
It's like the MCP is like, don't do more than you're supposed to. I'm in control.
Right.
But I guess Tron mostly, and the girl, whatever her name is, they're like, we have a user that made us here, and we're gonna do our thing whether you want us to or not, type of thing. And that's are you going to just be programmed like the MCP wants, or are you gonna step up?
Step up, baby. Step up.
Hey, does it kind of bother you that in the motorcycle scene, the bad guys are in the blue motorcycles and the good guys are in the red motorcycles?
They are? I didn't notice.
Yeah, I'm like, why are they opposites? But they totally are.
So her name is Yori.
Oh, of course.
And I don't know what the old guy... What is he? He's an I/O tower guy.
Oh, an I/O...
Input, output.
Yes, that's... the computer stuff's fun. I just have a kind of a final thought for a dash of film studies with the
Dumont. Sorry.
Dumont.
Yori and Dumont.
And he's got a real life equivalent too. It's kind of like Wizard of Oz that way. Because the bad guy's also the bad guy. You know what I mean?
Dillinger.
He's actually kind of a fun dual role, if I'm being honest.
He's a pretty good bad guy.
Yeah.
Like 80s bad guy. He does a good job.
He's got a cool bad guy design too. Some of it's kind of corny with the way that people are clearly wearing, I don't know, fabric or whatever. Yeah. But his designs are cool. The last thing I had even to go, because it's structuralist theory, how the movie's structured. A key concept is binary oppositions. So, for example, like, good versus bad. We know who the good guys are. Bad guys are one's blue, one's red. But white, I mean, this maybe is more formalist with symbolic meaning. White is more like, I don't know, pure, divine, or special. There's a specific color for just that. But like something that's kind of cool, the real world versus the human world, where I don't know, the digital world is more ordered and structured, where I guess the human world has randomness, chaos in it. They're allowed to be creative in the human world, but everyone's programmed in the digital world. So that means like free will outside, control inside, users versus programs. And like in the computer, that's just like shapes, squares and circles, geometry. In real life, there's like nature and stuff. There's not a lot of nature, I suppose, in the movie, but it's just the two different binary oppositions.
Yeah.
It's just how it's structured is just cool to. I mean, what I should say, this is what like the deeper meaning is, but it's just the juxtaposition alone is just cool sometimes.
Yeah, it is. I agree.
The one final con I realized is it kind of just ends without
like they get out and he's the CEO. And
he wanted to prove he was able. He made the computer games.
Also, he could have just typed that himself on a typewriter. Like I watched that and I'm like, well, how is that the proof? Like anybody could have. Anyhow, I have one more thing.
What is it? Is it the final thing?
Well, sure.
Are you keep talking? I'm out.
Okay.
So you know.
Well, this is the third quote that I picked out.
Okay.
And I'm not actually sure what it means or how it's applicable. I just thought it was cool. So somebody, and I forgot to write down who, said, all that is visible must grow beyond itself into the realm of the invisible, which I think is a really cool idea. And in my philosophy class, and more so in my philosophy club, and even more so in like the little group of philosophy nerdy kids that come in at lunchtime and we talk about it, I've been very interested in the idea of intelligence, and we've talked about this, and how if you look at real world nature, it seems like there is intelligence all the way down into cells. Like if you know anything about cellular biology, there are intelligently acting bits of every single cell in your body. And it's crazy. And so this quote, all that is visible must grow beyond itself into the realm of the invisible, I think is philosophically really interesting because the intelligence that is acting in each cell kind of subordinates its quote unquote free will to the health of the cell. And then all of the cells in, say, your skin, for example, all subordinate their will to the will of the bigger and the bigger and the bigger. And so if this quote is true, all that is visible must grow beyond itself into the realm of the invisible, that goes all the way down. And if it goes all the way down from us, then the next philosophical question is, does it go the other way as well? And if you think about I mean, society is an easy way to think about it. You think about society, and you're just one intelligent cell in the body of society.
Yeah.
What does that say about you, about how you should be behaving and interacting? Like, we see that, like, you and I are both a part of an English department.
Yes.
We're quote unquote cells in a department of similar teachers, and we all have the goal of educating our students with regards to the English language. What does that say about each individual one of us? Are we working together? Are we cancerous? Are we, like, do we have this growth or whatever? And on the other end, if we're all pushing individually, is that bad? Is it better? Is it good? And then we have, like, for lack of, I mean, to fit it into Tron, we have our MCP in our building. Who is kind of has the master plan, the director, and then he in turn is one cell, or like our building in turn is one cell in the school district.
Yeah.
And so we've got an MCP in charge of the district and we could just go on and on up that way, and we can go on and on down to the cellular, maybe even the atomic level.
Yeah.
And so if like I don't know what that means. I don't know what the implications are, but I just think it's fascinating to think about the idea of free will at every single layer, all the way up to we are a planet where actually we could go even further. If there's intelligence outside of Earth, like, we're just one part of this massive intelligence.
Yeah.
And then all the way down into atoms, into the subatomic level. Like, we went there with Quantumania.
Oh yeah.
We go there here with Tron. Like, all the way down. Like, if all that entire society is, like, what is this computer? This is like a 1/2 inch tall by, I don't know, 6 inches by 8 inches, and there's an entire society in there. How cool is that? It's so cool.
That is cool.
Anyhow, I love Tron. I know it's dated. I know it looks crappy. I know the acting isn't that great. I still love it because I think it is, it may be like the genesis of a lot of my like passion for thinking about things and drawing connections from okay, if that's true here, is it true here also? So I love Tron.
Tron is good.
Yeah. Even if it's slow.
This is a random thought that you reminded me of, and you'll roll your eyes because I talk about this often, and you're like, all right, we get it. But I am watching with my daughters for their first time. It's a rewatch for me.
Is it Bluey?
Avatar. Well, no, we've seen Bluey a lot. Avatar, The Last Airbender. We got to season 2 recently, and they're all in on Avatar. It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
And anyway, but we watched, for those who know the show, we watched the episode where he goes to the swamp, and he meets a person at the swamp, and that the lesson that the guy kind of teaches him is like, we're all connected, and like we're all connected just like these roots. And Aang goes, yeah, I get trees and plants being connected, but people, kind of what you were just talking about, but on a fun, maybe, obviously you were just saying we're all connected, like the cells inside of us were like the cells of something bigger, right? The fun twist in the wrench that the episode brings up, it's not just we're connected. It's like time is all connected, like past and present.
Sure.
Like the people who have died or the people we haven't met yet are all connected to us even right now.
Yeah.
So it's adding like a layer of dimensionality to the connectivity, I suppose.
Yeah. So
Time.
We have talked in the past about the collective unconscious, right?
We have. Yeah.
Jungian collective unconscious. That's what you're talking about, or that's a theory that describes what you're talking about. Like, we all have this shared pool of unconscious that we're connected to. So in that sense, our unconscious mind, and I don't think this is necessarily true, but is connected through these shared experiences of humanity with every other unconscious mind. Yeah, so it's really interesting in like a play around with this idea kind of thing. I'm not sure how real it is, but maybe. I don't know.
You know of the double slit experiment, right? Shooting electrons.
Lights?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where it reacts one way.
Yeah, if it's observed.
I know some people use that specific thing to prove we are all living in a simulation.
Well,
But here, and other people are like, no, obviously when you're looking at it, the energy is different or whatever. But you're like saying, yeah, but what if it's the electron?
being like, actually, I don't want to go that way. I want to go this other way.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, I said at the top of the episode, I think Tron, this one, it's philosophically deeper than Legacy and probably Ares.
Okay. See, that just proves my point.
What?
Good job, Tron. Yay, Tron.
I do think, I mean, and we'll see in 2 episodes' time, stepping back and looking at this franchise that has gone 50 years or 40
That is
years.
kind of weird.
Yeah, it's this weird thing. But even though this one eventually found its people, it found a cult to become a cult classic type of thing. Because I think it kind of got branded early on, and you were there, but like, it was like, oh, that's a movie for nerds. That's a movie about hacking and gaming and stuff. It's got a...
I love it. I embrace it.
But
Go nerds.
they tried a video game not long after, but there was enough interest for like, let's try it again. And we'll talk about that next week of where Disney was and stuff. But this movie's... It's cool. It's cool, at the very least, what it took to make it look that way and how it was made. But there's some of those ideas.
Yeah.
I wish some of it was a bit more exciting. Yeah. But that's why we got Legacy, baby.
Because you're a child of the cell phone. Wait, do you sit there watching like movies from the 50s and be like, man, this really needs to pick up the pace here? Thanks for listening. I genuinely hope that you went and watched the original Tron, especially if you are like a, not child of the 80s, you're a child of the 2000s or whatever, because I think even though it wasn't successful, so much of what we have today in film can trace at least a portion of its genealogy back to Tron.
Yeah.
And what they're trying to do here technologically.
Yeah. And when you go watch it and you see the parts of the movie in the Tron world, every single line took individual.
Yeah, that's a lot of love.
A lot of love for all that.
A lot of love.
Anyway, Tron. Now onward to Legacy.
To the remake. Love you. See you next week.
We love you. Think critically.
Bye.
Don't be programmed.
True.
Bye.
Bye.